Okay, so I've just finished that 2 pumps, and I'd have to say at the moment, my face is itchy. Hello and welcome to this video. This is going to be a foundation review on another YouTube famous foundation. I've done the Estee Double Wear, hated it, and now I am here to review the LANCOME Teint Ultra Wear. This is another one of those foundations which, if you watch like YouTube makeup tutorials, you've probably heard of it. I feel like everyone and their mother uses this. I've heard about it from so many people: Nikki tutorial, Jaclyn Hill, everybody you could ever imagine. But like I said, this is a similar situation to the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I'd heard about that everywhere, thought it was going to be amazing. No, but I have faith in this one, which is why I have the full size, and I really hope it works. Okay, so I'm going to start by reading some of the claims from the website. So this is the Lancome website, and in the description box they say our best-selling liquid foundation, Teint Ultra Ultra Wear, is now available in 40 okay, it's available in 40 shades. Good to know, good to know. Oh, this liquid foundation is long-lasting and provides full coverage without feeling cakey, leaving skin feeling comfortable all day with great staying power. Our 24-hour foundation allows you to go out and be your best without needing to retouch on the go. That sounds fabulous to me. That's exactly what I want from this foundation. Hopefully it delivers. I have faith in you. Don't let me down. Don't be like Estee. Like I just said, they do have 40 shades, so already that's a plus for this. You're more than likely to find your shade because there's a good selection. That being said though, it was very difficult to find my shade. That is because I have very yellow skin and there wasn't really one that was yellow enough for me, but this matches, like, it's a good enough match. I won't look like I've got mask on. So yeah, there's 40 shades and you can find something round about your skin tone. Okay, so to start off with, I'm going to apply a primer, just because I would always apply primer. I feel like that's fair. Now, this is a water-based foundation, and so when you're using a water-based foundation, your primer should also be water-based. You can, of course, use other primers and they may work, but I find that it's best to use like the same base. So if you have water-based primer, silicone-based foundation, silicone-based primer, I feel like they just work well together. So to give it its best shot, because I really want it to work, I'm going to use the Illamasqua Hydra Veil Primer. This is, of course, water-based, and this is my favourite primer, so don't do me wrong. Okay, so I'm just going to apply this primer all over my face, of course. I did go in with a tad too much, and now it feels like a rubbing jelly on myself, but that's fine. Just use that to slick down the eyebrows. I feel like this works really well as gel because it really holds everything in place. Perfect. Okay, so now that primer has set a bit, I'm going to go ahead and use the foundation. I'm going to apply the Beauty Blender sponge just because that's what I would usually do. I started off with 2 pumps and right away you can tell that it's quite thick. It doesn't really, well, it does drip. It's kind of like a souffle. Look, it doesn't fall. Maybe I'm pushing my luck a bit, but okay, so I'm going to go straight in off the back of my hand. I feel like my sponge is a bit too wet. Let's dry that baby off. Okay, so I've just finished that 2 pumps, and I'd have to say at the moment I'm not really too impressed. I feel like I've heard from a lot of people that this is supposed to be like a really high coverage foundation, and so far, I mean, it looks sheer if anything. I feel like it's less than my Armani Luminous Silk, which is bizarre. But when I did first go in, my sponge was quite wet, so maybe that is the problem. I'm just going to go in with one more pump and see what happens. See if it's buildable. Okay, so definitely with the third pump, it looks a lot better now. I feel like I've got the coverage to where I would like it. So it's definitely buildable, and if you wanted to go full, probably just one more pump would cover this whole thing. But I'm happy with this level of coverage for today. Just slap myself. And I'd have to say I really like the finish. I feel like it looks velvety. It feels kind of velvety. It's still a bit dewy in some places, like tacky, but that's because it's not dried down. But the places where it has dried, it feels really velvety. I really like the finish though. I feel like it's luminous. I look dewy but not sweaty. Like, I don't know, well you can see. I feel like I have highlighter on, but I'm not wet. There's some, I can't make sense. You know, like some dewy foundations you look greasy. It's not greasy, it's just, I'm glowing. I'm with child. Not really. Food baby. Food baby. Food baby. Now I'm just going to go in with concealer and powder and see how they work over top. Okay, so I just applied my powder concealer over top. The concealer I used is the Tarte Shape Tape, and then I used the Laura Mercier underneath my eyes, and the velvetizer by Urban Decay, on the rest of my face, and that all went on really smoothly over top. I know sometimes with like foundations that have more of a velvety, like powdery finish, it can be difficult to put like concealer on top, but this went on smoothly. Everything looks good. Everything looks nice. And I feel like even with the powder on top, I feel like it increased the coverage. Is that weird? I don't know. It is this powder and that does claim to do that, so... Oh, it's not shut, just went everywhere. But yeah, it's all looking pretty good so far, like I said. I like the finish, the coverage. Oh, now that I've set over powder, it's not as dewy, but you can still see like a luminescence. Like I still have a glow. Like it's a velvety finish, it's not matte, which I really like. And yeah, all there is to do now is go about my day and I'll check in later to see how it held up. Please hold up, please. Yeah, see you then. And I'm back. It's been about 8 hours since I put this on and I'm sweating like hell. It's 26 degrees and I'm wearing a long sleeve to protect my arms from the sun. Literally roasting. So let's get to talking about the foundation before it completely melts off my face. It seems to have held up pretty well, to be honest, except for in the areas where I've been sweating, it seems to have like rubbed off. So, well, they didn't claim it was sweat proof, but I usually get oily around these areas, so it's a similar sort of situation. I feel like this would probably happen if I got oily there, which I am oily there, but you know what I mean, I've sweated as well. Let me just zoom you in. Okay, so I've just moved in a bit closer and as you can see it's rubbed off around my nose and also it's settled into my smile lines. But everywhere else it pretty much looks good. Like the areas where you'd usually sweat, that's where it's starting to look a bit weird. Everywhere else looks good though. And I mean this situation, like it rubbing off, it can be avoided if you put like a concealer underneath your foundation, or for instance like a MAC paint pot, then like when this happens, when you sweat and your foundation moves around, you'll still have coverage there and it will look good. Whereas right now it looks a bit like, oh, bunched up. It looks bunched up. Also, my face is so sweaty. I'm not naked, I just removed my top because it's so hot. But yeah, as you can see, like from afar, it doesn't look bad at all. Like this looks, it looks pretty good. It still looks pretty good. It's just when you get up close, you can tell that it's bunched up. And obviously you can see it in my smile lines. But I feel like if I blended this out now, yeah, see like now it looks completely fine. It would just need a bit of a touch up, but like the coverage hasn't gone and it still looks really good everywhere else, just around my nose, but that's usually where I get more oily or sweaty in this case. But overall the foundation looks really good. Like I feel like if it wasn't so hot today and I wasn't so sweaty, it would still look pretty much perfect because like the areas on my cheeks and stuff where I don't sweat, it looks really nice. It still looks really velvety. It's just around my nose where I sweat, it's sort of like moved around. But yeah, I got to say this foundation has been put through like the ultimate test. My face sweats so much and it's held up really nicely. It's actually a really nice foundation. I like the finish. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin. It feels really light, but you can get a good coverage from it. And it stays on for a long time. I mean, this is 8 hours of sweating and it still looks good. So, and also as you can tell, like my blush and my highlight and nothing, like none of that's faded. It's all stayed on the foundation because I know that can happen with some foundations, but this still looks pretty good. And yeah, so reviewing this foundation for one day, I would say that I really like it. Like my first impressions are really good. I feel like this might be my new favourite foundation. I love the Armani Luminous Silk. I've been wearing that every day for like so long. But the finish of this, it's comparable, but I feel like the lasting power of this is better. I feel like the Luminous Silk would have weared off a bit, whereas this still looks great. I don't know how many times I've said this still looks great, still looks great, still looks great. I'm really tooting my own horn. Anyway, I'm going to go and switch off these lights now because I'm literally melting. My hair is sticking to my back. That's so gross. Ew. Thank you for watching this foundation review. I hope it helped you if you're thinking of picking it up. I would definitely recommend it. If you're like me and you like the Armani Luminous Silk or the L'Oreal True Match, that sort of foundation, like a dewy finish but not really dewy, sort of like velvety, then I think this would definitely be a good one for you. It's that sort of finish and it has really good lasting power. Holds up with sweat. It's all good. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.